Class of 2022, please be seated. Good morning and congratulations. My name is Bella Dilhoff, and I'm honored to welcome you to Loveland High School's Class of 2022 graduation ceremony. We would like to thank our Board of Education, our faculty and staff, and friends and family, because without your constant encouragement and care, we would not be here today, the day. Today is a day we've imagined for ourselves since we watched our older siblings and friends graduate. It's a day we've dreamed about since we watched High School Musical 3 for the very first time. We've been counting down the years, the months, the days, the minutes, all to this very moment. And it's finally here. Who would have thought that 1,369 days ago, when we walked through the school doors for the first time, we would have lived through a global pandemic. 440 days without normal school. But now we are here, together in this arena. After experiencing all the ups and downs of high school, we have a chance to reflect back on all we've accomplished and look forward to our next chapter in life. But most importantly, we should live in this beautiful present moment as we are all here together one last time. So I welcome you to celebrate the past, the present, and the future together. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Macy Klosterman. I would like to welcome the parents and families of the class of 2022, and welcome to our distinguished guests, School Board President Dr. Catherine Lorenz, School Board Member Ms. Eileen Washburn, School Board Member Reverend Jonathan Eilert, Assistant Dean of Instruction Live Oaks Ms. Desiree Runk, Superintendent Mr. Mike Broadwater, Assistant Superintendent Ms. Andrea Connor, Director of Human Resources Mr. Garth Collier, Interim Treasurer, Mr. Robert Giuffre, Principal Mr. Adam Reed, Assistant Principals Ms. Mary Beth Corbin and Mr. Eric Fry, District Director of Student Athletics Mr. Brian Knatzer, Counselors Ms. Jamie Gordon, Ms. Jamie Hamilton, Ms. Kim Lewis, Ms. Amy Mason, and Mr. Drews Mitchell, and our Senior Class Advisor, Ms. Lisa Brinkman. At this time, please rise for the National Anthem. Please be seated. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Busy Aiken, and I am the class president for our class of 2022. I want to start by saying that it's been an honor and a pleasure to have had the opportunity to serve as your class president these past 4 years. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And on behalf of my classmates, I'd like to thank all of the amazing faculty, family, friends, and guests for being here to celebrate Loveland High School's class of 2022 commencement. We would not be sitting here today if it weren't for you and all that you've done for us. It's certainly hard to believe that our time at LHS has come to an end. We have been through a lot to get here. We've mourned the loss of normal life because of COVID and made our way through a year of virtual school. We've dragged ourselves to class every morning, cringing at the dreaded roar sound marking 7:45 a.m. But more importantly, let us recall the best moments that we've experienced at LHS. Do you remember that first home football game of the season this year? It was an orange out, and we were so elated to be returning to the bleachers after COVID that we packed the stands, everyone shoulder to shoulder, making a sea of orange. Did we actually win? I can't remember, but that's not what matters. What matters is that we came together and we supported those we care about. I'll never forget that special type of joy and pride which can only be found in the senior section of a home football game. Class of 2022, look around you. Look at all that we have to be proud of. In our crowd, we have classmates from the robotics team. These classmates have competed at Worlds and won some of the highest ranked awards in Ohio. We also have the cross-country girls, who were the state runner-ups this fall. And if you keep looking, you'll find classmates from show choir, who just a few months ago performed on the Grand Ole Opry stage and placed 3rd in the nation. And what about both boys and girls lacrosse teams, who both won their ECC champs throughout the past 2 years? Or the marching band, who has competed at grand national championships? These are just a few of our accomplishments from our time at LHS. Our class has had so many setbacks thrown at us, but here we sit, having conquered the darkest of days. So, when we recall our time in high school, let us remember not the disappointment that we felt when our favorite activities got canceled, or the isolation that we felt in quarantine. Let us instead remember the shining moments when we rose above all the odds and were met with beautiful accomplishments and memories, one of which is occurring right now in this very arena as you sit with a cap on your head and a gown around your shoulders. Class of 2022, I've had a great 4 years with you, and I'll miss you all very much. My biggest wish for us is that no matter which paths we decide to take after Loveland High School, we're able to overcome all of our setbacks and experience every best moment that this world has to offer. Thank you, and congratulations. Performing the Irish Blessing is the senior ensemble.
It is my honor today to speak here as your salutatorian on such a joyous occasion. I want to begin by quickly thanking the student body, the teachers, the parents, and the faculty who made these crazy past 4 years everything that they were. Without your constant dedication, persistence, passion, and some very, very late nights, none of us would be here today. Thank you. The future has always felt far away to me, as if it were a distant world that would never come. As a kid, I always associated the future with the big kids, especially college. Anytime I was out at a restaurant and would see a college football game on the TV, I would ponder that even though I knew I wanted to go to university someday, it wasn't for me. I'm just a kid. For those of you who know anything about me, it's most likely that I love all things rockets and space. Over the past few years, this has produced some great nicknames for me, such as Mr. NASA, Rocket Man, and my personal favorite, Joe NASA. My dream of the future always involved working at a space company, designing rockets to blast into parts of the universe that no one has ever reached before, redefining what humanity knows is possible. But anytime I would hear one of these nicknames, I would again think that too bad kids can't work for NASA. But as we stand here today, we are teetering on the precipice of the future. We entered high school as kids, but today we leave as adults. The future I always thought so far away is no longer a distant vision. It begins here, and it begins today. This is my chance, this is your chance, and this is our chance to launch our world into the future that has been nothing but a dream. For it is not that we can change the world, but we will change the world. And although it will not be easy, as there will be many unique challenges ahead of each and every one of us, we must unite to overcome whatever the world throws at us. It is impossible for us to try to inspire the entire world to strive for success, but that does not stop you from reaching your absolute max potential. Every accomplishment you achieve is progress towards our future. Any individual success goes past individual gain, because when you succeed, you then are in a position to be able to give to those around you, being able to raise up your friends, your family, your neighbors, your colleagues, and even the world. Before I stop talking so we get into the part of today that I know everyone has been long awaiting for, I want to recall something that my mother often says to me when I'm wrestling with what may lie ahead of me. All of you, think of your life as if it were a book. High school is just one chapter in the very long story of your life, but all great chapters need to come to an end so the next one can begin. I know I personally dreaded in English class when our assigned readings just seemed to go on and on and on without an end in sight. And remember, do not be too focused on reading someone else's book that you forget to write your own. Find what inspires you and live it to the fullest so that your book of life is your own tale of the laughs, the love, the tears, both good and bad, and the joy, so that you should be proud of calling your book your own. Thank you.
I'll keep it relatively short, since I know most of you would rather graduate than listen to me talk. I want to start off by saying a huge congratulations. I could not be prouder to stand among this group of people. Not only my peers, but our amazing faculty, friends, and family. The support you've provided along the way has brought us to this final milestone on our high school journey. I know I wouldn't be here without that constant love from my people, especially my amazing mom. I cannot thank you enough. My Loveland journey, along with many of yours, started fresh in the halls of LECC. School revolved around kickball at recess, the Scholastic Book Fair, and beating the kangaroo in the typing game during computer lab. In first grade, we were handed little slips of paper with our school usernames and passwords on them. The 22 in front of our name felt mystical, impossibly far away. We had all the time in the world before graduation. Our hour of recess eventually turned into an extra hour of class, and before we knew it, we'd started our freshman year of high school. We were the kids in the top rows of bleachers, much too cool and much too scared to participate in the antics of a student section. 2 years in, it all got taken from us. and suddenly, the most exciting part of my school day became trying to figure out how to put a background in my Zoom call. COVID brought more challenges with it than just a disease, as we lived through a major historical event pretty much every month that followed. But in that funny way that nature works, life opened up even brighter and bolder than it had ever been before. That first day of senior year, we got to see each other smile again. We came together as a community in ways I had never expected. Our Spirit Club brought student sections to every fall sport. Club Fair turned out hundreds of new faces. The seniors secured the ultimate homecoming victory thanks to an outstanding performance by our male cheerleaders and a very cute dog named Denise. Now, standing here, that abundance of time I saw stretching in front of me all the way back in first grade has passed. Some of it comes as a relief. Personally, I would feel blessed to never touch a physics textbook ever again. But the wealth of this experience isn't lost there. We gave high school everything we had and then some. In the end, as amazing as our teachers are, I learned more from the people around me than I ever did in class. Each of us has our own path to track from here. We grow out as we grow up, finding new places and experiences. Every student sitting in front of you today has worked hard to afford themselves that opportunity. As we go our separate ways, we will always have Loveland to unite us at our core. And no matter where we're going, I'm proud to remember where I came from. It's been an honor to have been a part of this. Thank you. Performing I Lived, Resonance Seniors.
When you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. But when the water rises, you build a wall. When the crowd screams out, they're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay.
Hope that you fall in love and hurt so bad. The only way you can know you gave it all you had. Hope that you don't suffer but take the pain.
Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I own every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. There with every broken bone, I swear I lived. Hope that you spend your days and they all add up. When that sun goes down, raise your cup. Wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. Until my moment comes, I'll say I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did, yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived.
Good morning. I'm Mike Broadwater, the superintendent here at Loveland, and before I get started, I would first like to say thank you to all the students that have participated, whether musically or talking, and I would like to say thank you with a round of applause. It is my distinct honor to be able to say a few words to our 2022 Loveland graduates. Many of you I've had the pleasure of getting to know, and you can say this is my first graduating class here at Loveland, and I am so proud to be here and to get to know you. I believe every graduation speech should follow three main rules. That's levity, brevity, and repetition. I repeat, levity, brevity, and repetition. And I'm counting that as 2 as 3, so I'm going to stick with Nicole and be brief, but let you know that when I met with some of our seniors a few weeks back, and I asked them for one word that would describe what their high school career truly meant or what it was like. And this graduating class started with block scheduling as freshmen, I'm sure you remember that, endured something we now know we can call a pandemic, and we have still achieved great things at Loveland with these young men and women. The words I heard from our seniors were resilient, adaptable, self-disciplined, and I think that came from whether or not you were going to turn the video on at the Zoom when you had the online class or wear a hat, but there was self-discipline as you went through your online classes. All of these words describe the Loveland graduates I've had the pleasure of getting to know this year. I would also include giving. This senior group gave of themselves to make their community better, from Spirit Club to Hope Squad, to Link Crew, to Tigers Inc., to our ambassadors with our transitions, to our team that led leukemia drives. These kids did a great job with community service, and by caring for each other and their community, they have made us better. I am so proud to be the superintendent of Loveland and can't wait to see what these graduating seniors accomplish as they go out into the world. My task I was given was to speak on the future. Since I'm an old high school math teacher, I thought it best to let Ralph Waldo Emerson describe my thoughts about what the future holds and really what does success mean. The poem is called What is Success? I repeat, what is success? And this is what Ralph Waldo Emerson said: to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate the beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived, this is to have succeeded. To our graduating seniors, thank you for making my inaugural year at Loveland so memorable. You were given a tough task over the last 4 years, and you came out showing what it means to be Loveland, to be caring, to be respectful, and to be responsible. Before I end, I do want to stop and recognize those of our students who will serve and protect our country. Students, please stand and be recognized. If you're planning to serve in the armed forces, will be attending a military academy this fall, or joining the ROTC. If you could remain standing, I would also ask those in our audience who are veterans or are currently serving as service women and men, if you could stand and we could say thank you. To stick to the rule of brevity, I leave with a piece of advice my father gave to me when I headed off to college. He said, "Mr. Broadwater," we said Mike. I don't think he called me Mr. Broadwater. He said, "Mike, never, ever, ever pay your Visa card with your MasterCard." And that is my poor attempt at levity. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Go forth, go succeed, go Tigers.
Well, good morning again, families, friends, relatives, members of central office, school board members, and most importantly, you, the class of 2022. Seniors, I am so incredibly proud of each and every one of you, like so many of us are. All of you have worked so hard to make it to graduation, and your future awaits you in just a few short minutes. Although you have worked very hard to become a Loveland High School graduate, you did not get here alone. To our Loveland family, friends, relatives, all of you here today, thank you for your hard work, for your love, for your patience to help get your student to this moment today. Students, what I want you to do right now is look around, find your people in the crowd, wave to them, and give them the round of applause they deserve. See, you have a lot of support and a lot of people that will be with you for a lot of years to come. But not only have your families and your friends impacted your lives, but teachers and staff members have also been there every step of the way. A special thank you to Mrs. Brinkman, your senior class advisor, to Mrs. Partridge, your student council advisor, who strived to make sure you had fun events planned throughout the year. Thank you. I also want to give a huge thank you to Mrs. Gordon and Mrs. Renner for planning and organizing this ceremony for you, and to all the school counselors for tirelessly working to make sure each of you met the requirements for graduation. Thank you. Now, seniors, here you are, you made it. According to TikTok, the current trend for high school principals is to talk about COVID and all the obstacles you had to overcome. I'm not going to do that, because I feel like the real obstacle for your senior year was just finding a bathroom that wasn't closed. Thanks, TikTok. Although TikTok was not my favorite social media outlet this year, or Mr. Fry's for that matter, it did make me contemplate just how valuable each and every second is and can be. What it also taught me is that if you give life just a few quick seconds, a new video, a new trend, a new something is just a swipe away. And oh, do you know this probably more than any other senior class in history. As Mr. Broadwater said, you started high school on a block schedule, sophomore year cut short, junior year, when are we starting? Are we in person? Are we remote? When is this all going to happen? School starting, shutting down, only to start senior year with a new principal. That's a lot. But here you are, and I'm so proud of you. First, I want to say thank you for welcoming me to your high school. Yeah, it was a little awkward to meet many of you outside of a restroom for the first time as I was standing guard, but I appreciated your warmth, your conversation, and I really like talking shoes with so many of you. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to see your amazing talents both inside the classroom and out. Thank you for showing me your energy and your pride for Loveland High School each day. I too am proud to be a Loveland Tiger. As your senior year began, it was filled with optimism because we got to start school in a normal way. From the start, I witnessed our senior Link crew members welcome and work with students from the class of 2025. I saw your care and compassion and pride for Loveland High School. As the school days really began, I saw your heart for Loveland and your classmates. I got to witness you welcome each other back for your senior year. I saw you laugh, I saw you hug and celebrate. And yeah, I saw your social media pics as I jammed up our hallways on those very first opening days of school. That was my bad. The year progressed and so many of your talents began to shine. For the first time in what felt like forever, you took the field, the court, the stage, the course, the arena, and any other venue, and you got to demonstrate your greatness in front of what I consider the greatest student section in the country. As you shined, so did the accomplishments. National Merit semifinalists, successful impact night, state qualifying cross-country team, state qualifying swimmer, award-winning marching band, national qualifying robotics teams, national show-stopping choirs, and for some of you, even after today, your job is not done. Your season continues, and you continue to represent the Loveland Tigers. I wish you the best of luck. There were also so many amazing events during the year that made senior year great. Homecoming was a blast as so many of you participated in our dress-up days. You dominated over the classes for that coveted trophy. You dodged a few raindrops to enjoy a dance on the youth football field. Seemingly each month, you were given a chance to just enjoy each other, to catch up, to talk, to relax. Popcorn days, donut days, cookie decorating, hot chocolate, and more donuts just for good measure. So many of you made your own memories during senior year. You made new friends, or you kept friends that you've had since kindergarten. There were tailgates, classroom conversations, lunchroom conversations, Nerf wars, and I'm sure probably some events you're really glad I didn't know about. You made memories during club activities, games, competitions, and trips that you'll never forget. Just last weekend, you danced the night away downtown at Music Hall for your first ever prom, and it was incredible. The luau, the bike ride, the cookout, the fun day, and of course, the slip and slide allowed you to end your senior year with just a few more lasting memories. Like a TikTok video, senior year went by in a flash. When TikTok first started, the videos were limited to 15 seconds long. Then it increased to 60 seconds, and now some are up to 5 minutes. I found this increase of time quite appropriate for how we view our lives. Some can waste their lives by thinking there will always be more time. Life is made up of many small decisions that have a huge impact on who you ultimately become. Life isn't about racing through like you race to the parking lot every day after school. It's about being present and enjoying each chapter of life. And now that you have raced to the parking lot for the last time and high school has ended, take the opportunity to realize how much time can impact your life. As John F. Kennedy said, you must use time as a tool and not a couch. And there is no doubt you will spend all your seconds making your family, friends, and most importantly, yourself proud every single day. Loveland High School class of 2022, you did it. Congratulations.
Good morning. Mr. Reed promised you a few short minutes, and I promise you that that's all I'm going to speak is a few short minutes. But I do need to thank you for allowing the Board of Education to be a part of your graduation celebration. On behalf of Mr. Doherty, Reverend Eilert, Dr. Swetchnow, Mrs. Washburn, and myself, I thank you for letting us congratulate you today. You are the reason we serve. You are the people who make us proud to be serving. This is your day, and we're glad to help you celebrate. I have a very short personal aside. I want to thank you. I watched your parade last evening, and I was watching with a little guy. And I really want to thank you for giving a shout out to the class of 2032. He was holding a sign, and nothing thrilled him more than to hear you say, "Woohoo, class of 2032." Those little guys are looking at you, and you are showing them the way, so thank you. I'd just like to share a few words with you today from the song Closing Time, because it's time for you to go out to the places you will be from. It's time for us to open all the doors and let you out into the world. You can't stay here. We hope you've found a friend, or many friends, whom you will keep and cherish as you leave Loveland High School. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. You started in Loveland schools, and you've reached the end of your time here. This is the beginning of a new part of your life, and that beginning will also have an end, and that will lead to another new beginning. Through all of that, we hope that you don't just try to belong, don't try to be like everyone else, don't even try to be better than everyone else, don't try to be perfect. At closing time for your Loveland High School years, all we ask is that together, you all try to be the best that each and every one of you can be. Please keep making us proud. Ladies and gentlemen, parents and grandparents, friends, family, teachers, administrators, I am so very proud to present to you the graduating class of 2022.
Nicole Marie Pedicini. Jonah Daniel Scarda. Lindsay Marie Berry. Devin Alexander Sood. Isabella Elena Dilhoff. Audrey Madeline Planner. Caden Matthew Schwartz. Morgan Irene Wheeler. Abigail Cecilia Polakowski. Samuel Leonard Niger. Elizabeth Ann Aiken. Reagan Joy Bingham. Chloe Quinn Etter. Macy Harris Klosterman. Abigail Thomasina Richardson. Caroline Grace Staley. Jackson Elliott Abram. Olivia Kate Abram. Isabel Marie Williams Abrenica. Dylan Roy Adams. Akhmajan Akramov. Alexandra Paula Alarcon. Emerson Grace Amy. Madeline Carol Anderson. Luca Joseph Aquilino. Emily K. Arnold. Parker William Ashby. Necruz Ashrapov. Ethan Matthew Astafan. Samantha K. Badzik. Ryan Daniel Webster. Zachary Charles Baker. Avery Madeline Banasic. Nicholas Ian Barber. Reed Joseph Batchelor. Nathan Andrew Bailiff. Caitlin Jane Beasley. Kyle Andrew Becker. Lindsay Ann Round. Presley Elizabeth Beller. Adriana Elizabeth Bell. Evan Michael Bell. Alexander Evan Hubert Berberick. Jack Michael Bergman. Athena Black. Sydney Lillian Bodenstein. Sawyer Grove Bowen. Alexander Nikita Breach. Vladimir Michael Breach. Rachel Catherine Yeager. Lillian Marie Botzner. Brianna Nicole Kanan. J. Elizabeth Braun. Logan Matthew Bullock. Aaron McKenna Bullock. Samantha Nico Lynn Bryant. Jacob Marshall Brumback. Quentin David Whalen. Bailey Ashton Bronner. L. Francis Brinkman. Gavin Elliott Caney. Kate Elizabeth Carpenter. Abigail Patricia Carr. Leah Catherine Kerrigan. Jacob Martin Case. Jeremy Michael Case. Aaron Matthew Castle. Anthony James Cook. Hunter Paul Combs. Landon Patrick Coletta. Bradley Richard Campbell. Alexander Denninger Winfield. Alexander Robert Wolf. Logan Max Costongway. Catherine Elizabeth Cecil. Anthony Cervantes. Ryan Bruce Chevalier. Nicole Ann Christian. Viviana Shanae Clayton. Gabriel Lewis Colazzo. Grayson Cade Cooper. Hannah Madison Cosgrove. Jonah Mateo Cox. Philip Stephen Craig. Isaiah Rydell Cruz. Laura Ann Crawley. Nathan James Dahlquist. Kylie Grace Daly. Annalise Maria Dartnall. Aiden Michael Sebastian Davis. Claire Monet Davis. Cameron Patrick Delaney. Carolyn Rose Denges. Sydney Grace Dennis. Nicole Xavier Deerling. Ryan Shea Dillinger. John Michael Dippold. Jack Robert Dowling. Noah David Drock. Andrew Nicholas Dries. Hayden Squire Ducker. Ava Graciela Dudek. Ashley Shannon Dunlap.
Ryan Zachary Eicher. Elizabeth Jane Eisenhart. Kylie Nevea Eldridge. Cole Brenton Ewert. Logan Thomas Farnsworth. Christina Marie Fury. Parker Benjamin Freeland. Trenton Anthony Williamson. Quaden Squirrel Fields. Evan Cole Fisher. Naaman Robert Allen Fitch. Allison Elizabeth Flugel. Molly Ann Fogel. Gavin Francis Fulzenlogan. Kendall Alexis Forrest. Amanda Morgan Fox. Nicholas Andrew Frazier. Alton James French. Chella Mads Box. Dorsey Walker Garbutt. Joshua Jaden Garcia. Braden Anderson Gold. Jessica Elizabeth Gibbons. Laurel Francis Gibbons. Benjamin Matthew Gilson. Ella Rain Gerard. Leah Noel Godey. Daniel Trevor Goff. Skylar Austin Goodwin. Taylor Nicole Gorehouse. Nicholas Vladimir Greenwald. Lily Elizabeth Green. Benjamin Derek Golding. Matthew Robert Geist. Drew Allen Greiser. Luke Thomas Griffin. Nina Mattia Griffiths. Nia Elise Griffith. Morgan Emma Ginter. Dahlia Isabel Guerra Cardona. Trinity Elizabeth Tiernan. Emma Rose Harden. Alexander J. Harlow. Amber Elizabeth Haskamp. Cameron Lee Hatfield. Gracie Alice Hayes. Marissa Rose Hacker. Dominic Ethan Horn. Sean William Hollenkamp. Joshua Frank Holbrook. Brett Weber Hogan. John David Hill. Blake Edwin Hensley. Savannah James Heemer. Evan Paul Heckman. Addison Blake Hearn. Lorna Jean Haynes. Isabella Catherine Huff. Olivia Grace Hughes. Abigail Beth Hutchinson. Anastasia Rose Imhoff. Delaney Joanna Imholt. John Bailey Jackson. Alex Jacobs. Joseph Jason Jankowski. Carter Charles Jerome.
Jack Thomas Jewell. DeMarco Mackay Johnson. Brianna Nicole Johnson Polk. Benjamin Jacob Jones. Grace Elizabeth Jones. McKenna Marie Jones. Tess Mariana Jones. Isabella Marie Jordan. Maya Nicole Jordan. Austin Cole Justice. Spencer Mason Casemeyer. Yanni Marie Cars. Aaron James Kearney. Sydney Brianne Kyle. Nia Mariah Kemper. Gabriel Joseph Kiefer. Haley Rylan Kimball. Kaylee Marie King. Caden Michael Nab. Jameson Metzger Neck. Brianna Andrea Cook. Allison Marie Korniak. Peyton Alexander Cuban. Sean Patrick Kuhn. Carly Lynn Kunish.
Jaden Hunter Lai. Corey Miles Lampson. Jonathan Michael Louders. Amy Olivia Loffesweiler. Jacob Alexander Lemaster. Mika Bruce Little. Michaela Catherine Loomis. Elizabeth Patricia Loskamp. Andrea Loza Hernandez. Evan Christopher Lucas. Ethan Greg Lund. Jackson Lewis Lux. Sarah Maggie Maddox. Aiden James Mancuso. Colin Monroe Mangan. Peyton Matthew Mannering. Weston Bailey Rice Wolf. Emma Patricia Benton Mansfield. Kira Elizabeth Mansky. Hannah Kai Marosco. Jolie Caroline Martin. Ethan Robert Mash. Sabrina Dagny Maurer. Zachary Roy Richard Mays. Jackson Bradford McCaleb. Molly Ann McCourt. Jesse Carl McCoy. Robert Henry McCoy. Aiden Mead McCracken. Matthew Christopher McDermott. Zachary Andrew McHenry. Nancy Taylor McKibben. Luke Armistead McKnight. Grant Philip McWaters. Caleb Walker Medeiros. Scott Stephen Mendoza. Rylan James Mills. Alexis Marie Mittler. Anna Antoinette Monfreda. Adeline Elizabeth Monks. Rachel Alexis Morgan. James Quinn Morris. Madison Marie Sutton Mortimer. Jonathan Edwin Muir. Stephen Alexander Muir. Zachary Charles Mulligan. Ella Nicole Murphy. Ella Marie Nagel. David Grover Nash. Caitlin Jenna Naylor. Audrey Bell Neltner. Mia Victoria Nieves Rodriguez. Nicole Marie Niven. Jackson Walter Noy. Magdalene Joanne Rose Norris. Grace Galley Nunn. Amanda Jean Zook. Haley Corinne Zook. Audrey Quinn O'Keefe. Elizabeth Ann O'Neill. Catherine Suzanne O'Neill. Sarah Ann Owens. Simi Ozerslan. Eden Fiona Paddock. Julia Lillian Parker. William Drake Parker. Kylie Genesis Parrott. Darman Vishnu Patel. Vaughn Mitchell Pence. Nathaniel Martin Pillay. Gabriella Marie Piper. Brooke Marie Patella. Caitlin Michelle Ponchot. Lauren Elizabeth Poteet. Chester Trey Arnold Powell. Kyle Mason Powell III. Sarah Dawn Stroyeski. Vanessa Maria Rivera. Brooklyn Marie Richardson. Michaela Jane Rhodes. Sean Patrick Reynolds. Olivia Grace Powers. Jenna Elizabeth Reese. Evan William Rasmussen. Thomas Andrew Pruitt. Kyra Elizabeth Ryan Bailey. Caleb Paige Roberts. Maya Elizabeth Ching-Fong Romer. Savannah Elizabeth Rudy. Jackson David Rush. Emily Marie Ryan.
Alexander Kent Sackett. Alexander Joseph Salatin. Cynthia Marie Sanders. Jose Francisco Santin Abarca. Garrett Walker Smith. Shelby Quinn Zimmerman. Timothy Robert Young. Jake Edward Sauer. Nathan Shermer. Linda Arlene Schott. Aaron Gregory Shooter. Emma Alexandra Scott. Mosen Ahmed Shalash. Chloe Magdalene Smeller. Brooklyn Paige Smith. Marcus Nathaniel Smith. Ada Smolensky. Micah Elisa Snyder. Madison Bella Snyder. Haley Elizabeth Sovic. Nathan Maxwell Spencer. Caroline Smith Sproul. Ethan Beresford Sproul. David Matthew Stevenson. Alexa Michelle Stewart. Reed Anthony Stewart. Rowan Faith Strayer. Lydia Faith Trinity Wright. Morgan Hannah Schweitzer. Mitchell Jean Talbot. John Paul II. Quinn Elliott Thomas. Shay Amari Thompson. Caroline Grace Sheen Top. Nadia Faith Trombley. John Herbert Turner IV. Nicholas Andrew Williams. Alexia Jean Valley. Connor Andrew Vinoli. Sarah Ashley Weisholman. Tristan James Ver. Tyler David Ver. Olivia Catherine Walters. Madeline Karma Walulik. Andrew John Waple. Madeline Renee Warm. Kyle Franklin Watson. Maya Catherine Wirtz. Ethan Christopher Wilson. Shelby Ann Wilmoth. Donald Alexander Weintz. Connor Evan Wessel. William Andrew Westermeyer. Clay Damon Wheeler. Roman Bautista Wilburn. Colby Ignacio Earl. Mary Alexandra Sims. Reagan Deborah Dixon. Kara Denise Rourke. Joshua George Wegener. Joshua Alexander Campuzano. Clay Scott Wolf. The Loveland High School Class of 2022.
Graduates, please rise and prepare your tassel. On behalf of the class of 2022, we accept these diplomas.
Thank you.